So my YouTube channel has over 45k subs and less than 200 watch hours, and I haven't been monetized at all. And my very first video that was uploaded was February 9th of 2007. So I would like to consider myself somewhat an early adopter, I guess you could say. How did I get here and how did this happen? Well, I'll explain. Plus it's fun to do kind of goals for the new year, so this will be also part of my goals. So when YouTube first came out, like a lot of people, I really liked it, and my very first video is this video of doing sort of a green screen double. How it came about is I was watching how-to videos, very early ones, about how to use a green screen and all that stuff. It was just something that was kind of recommended during the early days, and at the time I had no idea you could just do this right in your living room. I thought to do a green screen required all this production stuff and high-end computers and certain cameras and all that stuff. I didn't know the average person could do it. So literally after seeing that video, I was like, oh my god. And I had bought at the time a blue blanket, like one of those like queen size blue felt blankets you could buy at Target or Walmart. I bought one of those nice ones. I bought some lights because that's what he mentioned, and then I bought a camera, and all this I put on a credit card. It was like $1,200 or $1,300 at the time, and I was totally stoked. I was like, this is a game changer. I can do like my own Superman or Batman or some superhero thing where I can fly around, and most likely it would look like a Bollywood project, but I was just like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing. And so the green screen double was my first sort of test thing. It was sort of a testing on doing it, and this was early YouTube stuff. So why am I telling you this? Well, I was really excited about what I could make. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I can do this from my living room. It was just totally stoked. And so I went to go show like friends and coworkers and all that stuff, hey, look what I figured out and what I can do, and was super excited. At the time, I was living in LA because I was born and raised there, and I was working at a post-production studio. That was my primary source of income, and at the time I was just a gopher. I wasn't a specialist in anything. I mainly kept the fridge stocked and got coffee. I had to replace a lot of light bulbs. For some reason the lights always went out, so I had to constantly replace light bulbs in the building and stuff like that. So that was sort of my job and my main source of income. But you gotta realize this is early YouTube days, and film industry people were sort of sketchy on it. Don't forget, Viacom on 2 separate occasions didn't just sue YouTube, but they tried to get the government to fully shut it down. No more, you know, none of this personal video stuff. Viacom, if you can research it, early days, they tried to shut down YouTube completely. So the job I worked pretty much gave an ultimatum, like, hey, that's really cool and stuff, but if you go this route, you can't remain employed here. Meaning I can't work at this post-production studio if I continue with the YouTube channel. Remember, this is like 2007, early days, and I think one of the key things is they were worried I was going to film something or steal footage of something that's not out yet and leak it, because it was a post-production studio. So we had movies coming in there that weren't, you know, in theaters yet. You know, the sound design and the music and all that stuff was being applied at this place. Well, if you remember early YouTube days, you couldn't make money on YouTube. It just wasn't really a thing at the time. So obviously I had to choose my job because that was my primary source of bills, and I just didn't do YouTube. I really wanted to, and still to this day it's one of my biggest regrets. I would have done much better if I was one of these early adopters with my silly sense of humor and I just got a job at McDonald's. Even though my mindset at the time was McDonald's was like, you know, below me, like, you know, that's for teenagers, blah blah blah, and I was like 19 or 20. So then the first writer's strike had happened, and oh man, and essentially I lost my job. I lost my job with the intent of probably coming back, but I lost my job. I was bad with money, still sort of am, so I need another job. You know, and I went in panic mode, and at the same time the housing crisis was happening. So around that 2008, 2009, we had the housing crisis, and then we had the writer's strike, and I was all over the place. I was totally screwed. So I was receiving unemployment at the time, and my dad was like a contractor for residential houses, and he threw me a little bit of work here and there. But one of the other interesting things happened was I ended up getting addicted to World of Warcraft. So I had a really nice camera. I was collecting unemployment. I had knowledge on Sony Vegas and, you know, doing my fantasy green screen stuff. You figure, great, you can start your YouTube channel, right? Nope, I just squandered all my free time. No, didn't happen. Another regret I had is that would have been the perfect time to start it. I don't think even YouTube was paying at this time, but I could have built an audience, and I did actually. I ended up getting addicted to World of Warcraft, so all my focus went on there. And if you check my video history, most of my early videos are of World of Warcraft, and that's where I grew a lot of my subscribers, was posting these videos. But I did pretty good with it, and I'm still sort of naive. I didn't know, you know, people were making money or doing this. I just kind of did it for something to do and to show off, and I enjoyed it. So I was making World of Warcraft videos. The problem was I was so addicted to World of Warcraft, I had hours of footage filmed, but never took the time to edit it or post it online because A, I didn't have the best internet. If you remember the early WoW days, most people didn't. If I uploaded a video, that took time away from World of Warcraft. So if I had to spend 3 hours to upload a video that was 25 minutes long or something like that, I didn't have the discipline just to sit there and let it upload because it would lag my game. So I got hours of just World of Warcraft footage. No one, you know, I never posted that. I probably could have made decent money out of because I was too addicted to do anything. But you can still see some videos I managed to get through and stuff. And I built essentially a lot of my audience through that. So then I came back and started dabbling in YouTube again. This is where things get weird because now my life is starting to get busy. I was dating a girl, all this stuff. Now you figure once again this would be a good time to start YouTube, and I sort of did a couple videos here and there in the early 2012 and 13. Still at this time, I didn't know people were getting paid on YouTube. I didn't know people were getting paid on YouTube until about 2017 or 18, and I can explain this. When I was a viewer on YouTube, I mainly watched mainstream stuff, and I had like 3 or 4 ad blockers going at the time, so I never saw any ads. You know, I was mainly watching like Seconds from Disaster and Nat Geo documentaries that are still up today that were uploaded back in like 2014 and stuff like that. For some reason, no one ever claimed them, so you can see a lot of these ancient Egypt videos and all that stuff that are online that have been up there for years. Anyways, I mainly use YouTube to watch mainstream stuff and World of Warcraft videos and how-to videos. So I didn't get involved in any of the drama at all. So I didn't know, you know, nothing in my recommendation said how you can make money on YouTube or anything like that. I didn't get involved with vlogs or anything like that. I knew people kind of uploaded videos talking about their day, but I thought maybe it was more of a personal video journal, and maybe just their friends and families watched it. I didn't know people cared about it. I mean, it kind of blows my mind. People will have videos with millions of views of them just grocery shopping. If I knew this was a thing at the time, I would have jumped on it. But this is sort of what I get. I mainly use YouTube for mainstream stuff that I could find and never bothered to look at any personal channels. It was just my thing. And then I ran ad blockers all across the board, so go figure. So my goal for 2025 is to try to get my channel monetized, along with uploading weekly and doing my own natural sort of creative, silly sense of humor type of videos. I've got notebooks like this, these composition notebooks that are just full of ideas. Some of the ideas were written down as far back as like 8 years ago and things like that, and it's all just weird, silly stuff. And I kind of want to try to bring back the old school type of YouTube where people are doing skits and things like that. I love camping, and I do the van life. There's some personal reasons for that. Just the cost of living these days is outrageous, and I have a bigger goal I'm trying to do. Maybe I'll talk about that later. You know, that involves saving a lot of money. So I'm essentially doing the van life to save, but I don't want my channel just to be about van life. You know, I'm not seeing the market saturated. My situation is really different compared to a lot of people because I'm a stationary van life person, sort of in the LA area. One of the other things is I want to do this naturally, so don't private message me saying you can help me out and there's all these services and I could pay for, you know, the watch hours and stuff. I agree with the way YouTube is doing their algorithm, so I want to earn it. I want people to be able to watch my videos, stick around, and enjoy the content. And, you know, if they don't, then that should just drive me to make the next video better. And that's ultimately what I want to do as well, as I'm having trouble with sort of refreshing with advanced editing techniques. So if I put a video out on the 1st of February and then the next video on the 7th of February, I want the next video to be better than the last one, and just as time goes on, learn new things and make every video better than the past one. That's sort of my goal. One of the other things I'm probably going to do is change the channel name. I came up with a few ideas, and I'm going to tie it to a few other things to see if the name's available, but I may or may not change the channel name. I hate to be that person that changes it like 10 times. Yeah, if you stuck around, thanks a lot. I just thought I'd share my sort of bizarre journey. Once again, I guess many people would consider this a hobby YouTube channel or a casual YouTube channel. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there in my situation where they've had their channel for 15 plus years and aren't monetized because they're just uploading, you know, ducks they saw at the lake or something like that no one's like really watching, you know, and there's no commentary or context to it. Anyways, thanks for sticking around if you've been around this long, and I really appreciate it, and have a good one. Okay, so if you made it this far, I'm going to go ahead and narrate over my very first video just for something to do. If you look at my video library, over the past couple of years, of course, my stuff sucks really bad, and I'm well aware of that. I fell for sort of those YouTube experts and those gurus that kind of give you advice on how to make all this money on YouTube and stuff like that, and I knew better. Like, I knew better not to fall for this rabbit hole, but essentially they were showing how to upload videos with a minimal amount of editing and filming and all that stuff, and I kind of feel ashamed of it. I'm going to go ahead and leave those videos up because I think it's important to show sort of a learning experience, show what I did in the past and how things have improved. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board and try to do my own original content. I have ideas in my head that I haven't seen on YouTube that no one else is doing. Yeah, some of it might do good and some of it people might go, what is this? And then turn it off. Like, I'm well aware of that. But the point is sort of a learning experience, and sometimes, you know, the risk is worth the reward in the end. So I have a lot of really good ideas that I want to get out there that are original ideas, and I don't want to be chasing sort of the quick, fast, what everyone else is doing. You know, something shows up like animation stories or something, everyone else jumps on it, and I just don't want to do that. So if you want to see a variety of things, I do plan on doing outdoor camping stuff along with some van life stuff, but mixed in some sort of parodies and sort of skits and stuff like that I find funny. So I am sort of an interesting and got a weird sort of deadpan sense of humor, and I hope to share that over 2025. All right, thanks for sticking around. Bye.